It's worked for me for 25 years, and Bonnie's one of the best. No, it's great to be here. This is a nice opportunity to be back on Main Street in Biddeford. We tried consolidation. We decided we wanted to be more out in the community, and so we're opening here today, and hopefully at least one more office in the region in the next couple of months, although you wouldn't believe the bureaucracy, well, you probably would, that we have to go through to open an office in terms of how many square feet and security and all those kinds of things. So it always takes longer than we thought, but we're so glad to be back in this space. And everybody will know where to find Bonnie. And if you have really tough questions, there's a person. I will tell you, I usually have a joke where I've used the last couple of months where I say, I want to give you a report of what we're doing in Washington. But we're about to pass, hopefully, some very important legislation, the National Defense Authorization Act, which has a lot of important things, including, for the first time, paid family leave for all members of the federal government, which is a really big deal. And a lot of good news for Maine in that bill, but also just last night, and I'm holding my breath on this, it looks like we're going to have all 12 appropriation bills passed by the end of the coming week. That means no shutdown, that we'll be able to, the federal agencies will know what their funding level will be for the next year, and that's also good news. So hopefully that's going to happen this week. I'll be going back down Monday morning, and we'll try to wind those things up over the next few weeks. I think the Senate will be busy in January. We got a calendar from Mitch McConnell for next year's schedule, and I'm not kidding. January wasn't on the calendar. It was all blank. The calendar started with February. So I think that tells you that you know what we'll be doing pretty much full time for the month of January. I'm sure people are interested in what that process will look like. It's unclear at this point. Mitch McConnell is the majority leader. He has a lot of control over what the process will look like. What we heard yesterday was that there would be a week or two of arguments by the House managers on both sides of the impeachment issue, and then several days of deliberation, and then a vote. The problem with that, from my point of view, is that's not a trial. I've never heard of a trial with no witnesses. So there's going to be some, I suspect, a lot of discussion about that. And the votes on the process of the trial are by a majority. Impeachment itself, as you all know, takes 67 votes, 2/3. But questions of witnesses and how long it will take and those kind of things can be decided by a majority. And as you know, the Senate is 53 Republicans, 45 Democrats, and 2 independents, myself and Bernie, although Bernie may have to sign up as a Democrat because he's running, you know, which is good and bad news for me. The bad news is my caucus falls by half. The good news is I'm the chair. So I don't think it's clear what the vote would be, for example, on witnesses. And that's sort of up in the air now, and I think there'll be a lot of discussion over the next several weeks. I feel that I need to hear from Mr. Mulvaney and Pompeo and others who have direct knowledge of what happened. In my view, they can settle this matter one way or the other in about an hour of testimony under oath. I don't know whether that's going to happen.
They could have already.
But that's...
They could have already.
Yeah, they could have, absolutely. And my feeling is that you have to have the most direct evidence possible, and of course, in this case, the witnesses are under the control of the administration. So we'll see what happens, but the Senate will have some control over that, and we'll see how those votes come out early in the session. That's all I can share with you at this time. It's all I know. I mean, I realize as I said that it sounded like there's something secret. I've shared with you what I know, and I think we all, this is a very grave matter. No matter what your point of view is, it's a serious matter, and hopefully we'll be able to treat it with the seriousness and dignity and a sense of responsibility. I'm told by several of my colleagues who were there in '98 that, I don't know if you know this, senators have to take a second oath before the trial. It's a different oath than the oath that's taken when you become the senator, and it's an oath to do impartial justice. And I'm told by those who were there that's a very impactful moment when you put your hand up and take that oath. I certainly hope and believe that it will be taken most seriously, and we can handle it in a responsible way that at least will give everyone a feeling that it's been fair and we've gotten to the bottom of the facts. Okay, I didn't mean to get all serious on this.
It's important.
This is really a celebration of access, and you can always reach out to me through Bonnie, through this office, through the Washington office. You'll be interested to know we get about 3,500 to 4,000 emails and calls a week from Maine, just from Maine. And I have a philosophy that if people take the time to write, and that they deserve a real answer. So I've got, we save a lot on speech writers in my office. Because the last time I tried to have somebody write a speech for me was when I was governor, and all I used was "Thank you, Mr. Speaker." So we decided that was a waste of time and money. So instead, we have young people who draft substantive answers to correspondence, and about once a week, we all sit down and go through. I have a notebook I take home every night with those draft letters. Normally, I just say, fine. The dreaded comment is, let's discuss. That means we've got to really work on this. But we do try to keep in touch and listen to people, both to telephone calls and to the correspondence that we get. So be in touch. It really is important. People often ask me, does anybody care? The answer is yes. We know, we keep count. We know whenever I start one of these conversations, you know what, we're getting 187 letters, and 42 were this way, and 145 were this way, and we do listen, and I see a sampling of the letters, and then we do the answer. So keep in touch. Come in and see Bonnie, and I'm just delighted to be here.
And if I could, I just want to introduce my colleagues in the office, so you know when you come in here, I won't be the only